Hello and welcome back to Factorio. In the last episode we did a bunch of exploring. We found stone. We actually have a good, big source of stone. If we want to go out there, I'm not sure. It's a bunch of enemies in the way. But we'll see. We might get there, we might not get there. We are going to keep on boxing in resources. We need to protect the copper so biters doesn't get the ill notion of believing that this is open for business, that they can settle here and take this as their own land. No, we need them to understand that this is ours. We need them to understand that they are not welcomed on their own planet. We need them to go. We need all the resources because we want to go home. But we are going to just pick up a bunch of stuff. We are going to put down walls. Not sure if we have enough walls, to be honest. We might not. But anyway, we are going to put them down regardless. We are going to put down turrets. We are going to take our car and go back, and we are going to do oil in this episode. Now, oil is something. There has been changes recently to how the oil works. I'm personally not happy. I'm just going to put that out here. I'm not happy about the changes when it comes to oil. Now, I understand exactly why they have done it. I understand why they are doing it. I'm just saying that I like the way it was before. Not because that's how it was before, but I liked how the oil was because it forced you to get into the whole. You have to manage resources that are dependent on each other on a whole different level than you were used to before. Because once you start getting into the oil stuff, still after the changes they have made recently, it's very, very quickly you might find yourself in a situation where one resource is running low and you don't notice, and there's something which isn't made, and you sit there, why isn't this being made? And then 3 hours later you realize that it's this one thing that's not working. Only because you didn't manage the resources or didn't overproduce or underproduce some stuff. That's the thing really with oil, is that you are going to have to be careful. Now, they did remove the whole carefulness bit on the first bit. You can set it up and it will just work. But once you get into the advanced oil, which you will need to get into to shoot up a rocket, then you are going to run into some issues if you're not used to it. So that's why I liked the way it was before, because you basically were forced to manage how much resources were made and used so it wouldn't clog up and or stop the system from working. So what they have done now is basically just pushed the frustration a bit ahead of them. hasn't really changed. But that's my opinion. Not necessarily everyone's opinion. And that's fine. Now, we are going to use a bunch of pipe. Because we need to put pipes everywhere when it comes to this. Sure, let's do that. Oh. Let's do... No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do this just so I can run through. Now, all the other places are fine. What I am going to do is this, so we don't have to do some crazy stuff. And then let's see, we need 1, 2, 3, 4 of the storage tanks. Now, you could just put up 1. I'm using 4 because of habit. Really, I'm not going to like sugarcoat it or anything. I'm just going to say it's habit. I have a habit of doing 4, so I'm doing 4. That's the only reason. And there we go. And we are going to hook them up. Now, you are going to have to be careful if I'm going to pick one up. The input and output is where I have put the pipes. The extra pipes. That's the... Like, you can't input where I put this pipe here. That's not possible to input into the tank. You have to input where it looks to be a pipe in. As you can see, it snaps. That's where it is. So that's something to be aware of. All the things have like in and outs. You might not be aware because this is basically like 2D, this game, but all the models is 3D. Like all the models is 3D models and just flattened to be 2D later on. So it is that's why they are looking quite 3D, and that's why many of the things have like inputs and outputs and are looking quite realistic because it is 3D modeled, which means they are making it look realistic in like the 3D modeling program. And once it gets into the game, you can't put it in like an programmed to be input like in certain areas. You can't input like wherever you want, and that is something that isn't explained in the game. But yeah, that is a thing. Be aware that it is a thing, and make use of it. That I can only say, make use of it. Make your stuff in a way which makes sense for you, as long as you connect it up and make it like work. Now, it might look like the tanks won't be connected, but all the connections on the ends work between the tanks, so the tanks are connected to each other. So that's also a thing that they can be. It's not like you can't connect the tanks together. That's also something to be careful of, because since you can connect them, you might have a problem if you are mixing They are doing a great job of removing the whole mixing of fluids. But yeah, if I do 2 more just to demonstrate. There we go. If you have like 2 tanks and they have different resources, like one have water and one have oil, for example, connecting them up is not a good thing. Now they are removing it, so you can't do it. Now there are ways around it because of like how the game works, but anyway, what it means is that be careful of how you connect your pipes. That's about all the warning I can give you. You're gonna have to experiment yourself. Sadly, it's something you're going to have to like try out and find a way, a good way of dealing with it. Now, let's see. There we go. That should be all of them. Just need to bring the power down. Now we do need to make more giants. There we go. Now we are pumping oil. Oil. Slowly but surely. Now we are going to reduce the amount of trees in the nearby vicinity. Let's start with grenading the trees. Yes, that was a waste of grenade by doing it on one tree, but whatever. I really do hope they add something like a more sensible like method of transforming or destroying wood, because oh my god, if you don't grenade it, you're gonna have so much freaking wood everywhere in boxes. It's going to be insane. Now let's see here. Do I have an oil thing? Yes, but this is not mine. Yeah, I don't want this. Now, this is a very neat one. This is a very, like, good thing. Like, the blueprint of this is good, but there's a bunch of circuit network which is just unnecessary. Let's see. Have I actually made one myself? Ever? Maybe not. No, maybe I didn't. And yes, I do have a bunch of Catherine of Sky. If you don't know who it is, it's someone who has made a lot of Factorio over the years. There are a few people who have made a bunch of Factorio videos, and some of them are doing it still up to this day, and Catherine of Sky is one of them, and Mangled Pork or Bantam. He's called Mangled Pork Gaming, if I remember correctly, on YouTube, so whatever. He's also one of those that still plays Factorio on a regular basis. There are a bunch of other people that do it well as well, but I can't remember everyone. it's a hard time keeping track of every single YouTuber you have watched or heard of. But yeah, she has what is it? Dropbox or like GitHub or something with blueprint strings and stuff. So I just at one point I tested them and I haven't removed them. And yeah, they are very good. A bunch of other stuff I picked up. Some of them I made myself, but I think I've deleted a lot of the stuff I made. The train tracks, on the other hand, is 100% me. Those are me. I made them all myself. Now, they may look very similar to others because, yeah, if you do trains a certain way and you plan them, they are going to look very similar. Now, what am I going to do? What am I trying to do? I'm trying to do oil. Let's focus on oil. Now, as you can see, the recipe you have, the first recipe for oil is this one. Basic oil processing. Which is crude oil. 100 crude oil gives you a product of 45 of something. Let's check it out. It is... we can find it. If we can see it. Okay, let's look here. We should be able to see it. Where are you? Okay, you do not want to... but anyway, what it is, it's petroleum. That's what it is. So... let's hook it up. Now, the reason why I say I don't like this is because you have two other products from oil, which is heavy oil and what is it? Light petroleum gas. Let's take a look in here. Right, it's petroleum gas, heavy oil and light oil. And the thing is that you have to input crude oil and you have to balance the three things from crude oil to keep on producing. Like, that's the thing. You're going to need a lot of petroleum oil, and yeah, balancing the levels can be quite difficult if you don't know how to do it. But anyway, what I'm going to do just now is like some really basic stuff. I'm building very temporary at this point, so I just put down like this. This is not efficient, it's not good, it's just temporary. I'm going to redo it once we have proper oil recipes. Now, we have about 10 minutes on this episode. Let's do this one. It is Baru Science or Chemical Science, as it's called in the game. Now, I do want the usual 2 space in between because it is way better. Now, the thing about this is that this blueprint is using light oil. Now, we don't have access to light oil, so we're going to have to feed this in a different manner. Now, I'm not it doesn't... Right, it's incorrect as well. We don't need the fuel blocks. The solid fuel isn't needed. What we need is sulfur. So, right, and we need advanced circuits. We need engine units. Right. What I'm going to do is actually do this. I'm going to do this, to be honest, and just get it over with at this point. Now, we need water. We need water. This is a good thing. Like, this is why I have this space here, because that means we can have pipes and all the stuff we need. Absolutely have to have running here. Which, yeah, that's something we do need. Like, we do need it. So let's do a bit of this. We should most likely do it like this. No, should we? No, we should probably do it like this. And I will try to remember the time. No promises though. It's really no promises. Here we go. I'm going to pick those two up. Now, we should be getting petroleum. Like, we really should be getting it. Might be because it's not connected. Yeah, and there is a bad visual indicator on the tank, but it's not good. It's super hard to see how much you actually have. And now we have no science possible to make. I'm going to just click that away. We are going to get into that later on. What I'm going to do is just remove the whole circuit network crap. What I am going to do is this, and this. Because we are going to need it. Okay. Nope. Redo. You can always put down the blueprint again, but if you have done any changes, you are going to need to like redo a bunch of stuff. So, just be aware. like if you removed stuff, you are going to have, like, you do need to remove it again if you put down the blueprint again. Right, this is the output. I don't want the output to be this way. Let's see. This is where it's going to go. Here we go. I am going to have to craft a bunch more of the assembly machine too. What is... I'm missing iron. Oh. Interesting. Okay. Let's pick up some iron gear wheels because that's actually what I need. I have a bunch of green circuits, so that's fine. Five more. There we go. I should maybe be fine. Maybe. Yeah. With how this is snaking and stuff, I don't want to do this by memory. And as I said, I'm doing this because I want a certain amount of science being done, so we are not like waiting for tech, because that would be unfortunate and boring and would be taking a lot longer to get stuff done. Going to do this. Don't need to have the underground because I'm not going to have that useless junk that was in the blueprint. I don't need the visual indicator. If you're using the blueprint, like, feel free to have it. It's completely up to you. Whoops, player was in the way. But yeah, I'm not going to use it because I don't need it. Oh, I don't have any belts. Ooh, we need to fix that. We need to pick up more. Let's limit this. We don't get any more walls. Let's pick up 1,050 and 50. We have 1,000 transport belts, we have 60 undergrounds, and we have 77 splitters. That's absolutely fine. There's a reason why this is done like this, and that is because I'm not going to continue that like that. I could just pick this one up and just do this. There we go. The reason why this is just on one side is because, well, most likely it doesn't need to be on both sides. So that's why. We need to get water over here, but we need to actually start producing red circuits, or advanced electronic circuits, I believe they're called. Advanced circuits only. Only advanced circuits. Okay. Whoops. Now, we are going to go... Wait. We are going to grenade. We don't have any trees in the way. We did take a bit of damage, and this took a bit of damage, so... Maybe should have been a bit more careful, but... It's fine. We can just repair it. Oh, we already had one. Well... Now we have water. So we have the resources for sulfur. Just iron now, right? No, it's just petroleum gas and sulfur. Okay. Right. That means we have all the stuff. Now, I do want the pump. Now, a pump is exactly what it sounds like. It's a pump that pumps a fluid from one side to the other, and it only goes one way. If we take a look, the arrow means it's going that way, so as it's pointed right now, it's going from the right to the left. If we rotate it once, we can see it's going from the bottom to the top, from the left to the right, from the top to the bottom, and back to from right to left. But you do need to power it. It does need power to function, so you can't just put it down and expect it to work. You are going to have to... You do need to put down electricity for it to work. Now, if you... I noticed this being here. Since this one is here, we aren't getting any petroleum because this one pipe here is not connected to where it needs to go. So that this one pipe is destroying everything. We do need to remove it. Also, something to be very careful of is that pipe to grounds are very, very sensitive of how they are placed. You can't place them however you like. You're going to have to be a bit crafty about how you put them down. Especially if you're going to build compact. Or if you're going to build in a certain way. Because, yes, it might get very, very messy if you're not careful. Let's remove that one. You are just iron for these two, right? Let's let it flow. Let it flow. Let it flow. Flow, flow, flow. But, of course, I forgot the time again. So we are going to have to continue building this in the next episode. So, thanks for watching, goodbye, and I hope I'll see you in the next one.